Today, I'm going to be sharing a story about how whales live inside of Diablo Immortal. First of all, what is a whale inside of a game? Very simply, someone that spends a lot of money. Whales are people that take a lot of cash, throw it at a game, and oftentimes will have excessive amounts of power that make it difficult or impossible for players that are low spenders or free-to-play players to be able to compete. This is a game mechanic, it's allowed, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and I will say that whales are the people that keep free-to-play games free to play for people that are too cheap, too stingy, don't have enough money, or just don't want to be a big spender inside of the game. Just to give you guys my inside thought here, I am a very light spender inside of Diablo Immortal, which is essentially my business. It's something that I create content for on YouTube, that I monetize, that pays my mortgage, or part of my mortgage. I only spend 15 bucks a month in the game. I am far from even a minnow. I spend very little bit just to get enjoyment out of the game. But I'm happy that there's whales inside of the game spending upwards of $200,000 on their accounts, because they are the reason why we are getting upgrades every month. They are the reason why Diablo Immortal is continuously growing and bettering itself, because the funding is there. If the whales were never part of the community and there were no big spenders, Diablo Immortal would have died right away, because it wouldn't have had the funds to ever change the game and ever become a better game over time. No more new classes, new game modes, or anything like that. So what I want to do here today is take a look through this Reddit post that was shared to me by Scrappy Academy just a few days ago, which kind of really goes in depth about topics that I've dabbled in over the past couple of weeks. We've talked about whales, we've talked about people leaving servers because of whales that are making the whole right of exile unplayable for people. I guess we could put it that way. I didn't always feel comfortable talking openly about this, because I didn't want to throw anyone under the bus. I didn't want to say anything negative about people that I've become friends with over time. I didn't want to shed a negative light on either the whales or the people that were trying to avoid the whales. Personally, I think there is a place for all of these people inside of the game, and I have some very good friends who are on both sides of this equation, the whales and the free-to-play or light spenders. So for context here, I think it's very important that all of these players are together to keep a game with pay-to-win elements like Diablo Immortal successful. And if they're successful, if they're making the money they need, the game will continue to grow and continue to bring new elements to the game. But let's dive into this Reddit article and kind of see what the story is that's being told, and then I'll give you my feedback. And this one's titled A Tale of Whales by Johnny Smith 11, posted 10 days ago, actually after one of my first posts. By the way, I do have an interview that I'm planning, still in the planning phases, with who I believe is the biggest spender inside of Diablo Immortal, spending nearly or just over $200,000 on his account. Obviously, this is a player who has a lot of expendable money and is able to do something like this. I'm really hoping to do this interview because I would love to get his insight as to why he does it and just the whole reason behind a whale mentality, really. So I'm looking forward to that. That's to be coming soon. Now to dive into the article. Diablo Immortal. Oh, how we wish it were different. We love this game. It's dark with all its dark and gritty glory, but it's become a tragic tale of enjoyment tainted by a storm of problems. I actually like how he starts this out, because he says, oh, how we love this game, right? I do too. As a low spender, someone who will never be able to compete at the top of leaderboards, I love this game, which is why I cover it. So that's how we're starting this out here. It's like savoring a delicious meal while choking on the billowing smoke of the raging fire. Here we are, the loyal players, trying to relish the experience despite the darkness that looms over it. So loyal players, does that mean loyal players that are big spenders, or does that mean loyal players that are light spenders? We'll find out as we dive in. At this point in time, I'm believing that this is players that are spending money. So a whale, a tale of whales. Let's start with the most insidious issue plaguing Diablo Immortal, the relentless trading of whale accounts. Again, this is something that I haven't spoken on. The trading of accounts. Something that I've known for a while, but I haven't spoken openly on it, so I guess today's the day. These aren't the majestic creatures of the sea. No, these are players with wallets that seem bottomless. Throw in a staggering $100,000 just to reach a resonance of 9,000. The gap between the haves and the have-nots has never been more painfully evident. What exactly does this mean? Because when we see a player with 9,000 resonance, we're thinking 100,000 plus right there. That person is a baller. They got money to waste and they're throwing it in a mobile game. Lots of reading to be done here. And what's worse, the blatant sale of these whale accounts has become a thriving black market. For $5,000, you can buy a 6,000 plus resonance account, effectively leapfrogging over the rest of us who are grinding our way up the ladder. So clearly this is being written by someone that is a spender inside of the game, puts money into the game, and is climbing the ladder as their resonance grows and they become a better player. So for 5 G's, accounts are being sold with 6,000 resonance. What's the value of a 6,000 resonance account? I would be guessing, but I will guess, and I would say about 50 grand for a 6,000 resonance account. Maybe less, maybe more. I'm not someone that spends to that level, but let's say that just for, if it's 100 grand for a 9,000 account, let's say 50 for a 6,000 account. It's disheartening to see the breaking of terms of service, see below, and purchasing a whale account has become the ticket to success in Diablo Immortal. Now we're talking about buying accounts here that are being sold in a black market, and that allows people to participate and compete against people that are actually spending real money to do this. Is it fair? Is it not fair? If I spend 100 grand on my account, should I be able to sell that to someone? Is it my intellectual property to sell to someone else to then compete with? The money was paid to Blizzard. The account is legit because, to my understanding, these accounts are being bought with real money. The accounts are being upgraded with real money, not like they're using some offshore type of scammy service to get fake money to actually upgrade the accounts. That was dealt with months ago, or even a year ago at this point in time, and I don't believe that that's even happening anymore. Let's read on. But what truly stings is the toll this takes on players who choose to abide by the rules, who choose to legitimately purchase legendary crests and grind. These players are the backbone of the gaming community, yet they're the ones who suffer the most. It's harsh betrayal of their trust. What a great point. As a low spender with 1,600 resonance, I know it sounds pathetic for someone that's been grinding the game every day for a year. I don't buy resonance. I don't care about my resonance. I don't care about battlegrounds. What this means for me is these accounts that are being bought with 6,000 resonance, it does not impact me at all. 0%. Because I'm not competing against them in battlegrounds. I'm not seeing them in any negative way. If anything, I'll team up with them and they can help me out as I try and do some dungeons or something, but I'm not seeing it hurt me in a negative way. But if I were putting myself in the shoes of a whale, a player that's spending 100 grand on my account, and then having to play against people with accounts just as strong that were purchased for 5 grand, that as well would be a problem for me. So I can see how the whale community is saying, what the heck is going on? Why is this allowed? Why isn't this being, nipped in the bud? Moving on, let's not forget the most glaring issue here. Blizzard's abysmal failure to enforce its terms of service. Buying and selling accounts, a clear breach of terms of service. Handing over your login information to someone else, another blatant violation. Yet, where is Blizzard in all of this? Nowhere to be found. Their lack of action is a slap in the face to players who expect fair play. I don't know the Oh, actually, the terms of service are below, I'm seeing right now, so we'll go into that in a little bit. I don't particularly know them. I know that in many games, account sharing is frowned upon or even against terms of service. If I were to give my account information to a friend and they could log in and do my Shadow Wars or even grind for me for 5 hours a day, that's an unfair advantage because you could potentially have an account being grinded for 24 hours a day. You get a couple of people doing it, you all work together on one account. It's unfair because an average person, a real person, can't do that. It's like botting it to do all the grind on your own, like spooning. Remember that from a year ago? Same type idea, but you're using real people. Apparently it's against the terms of service, and I would anticipate that it is, since with any other game that I've seen before, account sharing is not okay. Specifically, when you account sharing will affect other players, in turn causing them to spend more money. You see, if I hire this person, and this person to all run my account, so my account's being run for 24 hours a day, I'm getting an advantage over all the other players, which they may then need to pay to gain that advantage back, which essentially is going to take money from the players and put it into the wallets of Blizzard. Or should we really say NetEase? Because, to be honest with you, I think that the majority of this game was actually done and put together by NetEase, and things were polished, cleaned up, and opinions were brought from Blizzard to make things different. Now, with that being said, I don't mind NetEase. I think that they've made a bunch of great games, and I think Diablo Immortal is a great game, no matter how much Blizzard was involved in the actual creation of it. I think it's a great game. Like any other, it's got things that it could fix. It's got some things that are great. And as time goes on, the great is becoming more than the what needs to be fixed. Moving on. The repercussions of this negligence ripple through the game. The market is in shambles, with sapphires and aquamarines as rare as a mythical drop. It's infuriating to think that the very players who break the rules and destabilize the game's economy are the ones reaping the rewards, while the honest players are left to scavenge for scraps. This is why whenever I get, and this is different from server to server, but whenever I go in and sell some of the gems that I get from a dungeon or a hidden lair or anything like that that's sellable in the market, I always sell those because I want platinum. I don't buy platinum. I'll take it for free from my grind. I'll sell any blue gem for 400 platinum every time, while a ruby's gonna go for about 120. Aquamarines, they're down to about 200 at this point in time. They used to be a lot higher, if that. The market is quite weird right now, and I'll notice anytime I put a blue gem up there, I can literally watch the screen and watch it be bought. People are waiting there for them. Who are they? The whales that are honest, or the people that are buying the accounts? We'll find out. Oh, spooning is mentioned here. But here's the kicker. While players are being banned left and right for minor infractions like spooning or trading gems between alternative characters, offenses that harm no one, the real culprits remain untouched. It's a grotesque parody of justice when those causing real harm go unpunished, while incorrect players or innocent players are cast aside. First of all, I would argue this point right here. Spooning, it's basically it's stupid. First of all, what's spooning? It's when people would take a spoon, lean it on top of their phone in a zone that had a whole bunch of enemies spawning there, and you would just leave it there, and you would stand there and attack in one spot over and over endlessly, and you would gain XP and rewards and stuff from doing that, from just placing a spoon on your phone. That was dealt with years back. Is it fair? No, I could keep my phone plugged in all night long, get 8 hours of grind with my spoon. Is it fair? No. Is it cool that people were doing it? No. There's no autoplay feature inside of the game, so we shouldn't invent our own with a spoon. I thought it was extremely stupid when it happened. And does someone get an advantage? Sure. Is it a minimal advantage with the XP gain you get from spooning? Probably. It probably wasn't that big of a deal. It is not as big a deal as what the topic is here today, which is the true cheaters, I guess, inside of the game, at least as far as what the person writing this article is saying. It's a grotesque parody of justice when those causing the real harm go unpunished while innocent players are cast aside. So the real harm being buying an account that has the 6,000 resonance for only 5 grand. Now, this brings up a whole topic here. Why are developers or game companies that own Diablo Immortal not ending that? And I'm wondering here, is there a way, is there a world where Blizzard, NetEase, whoever it may be, is actually profiting from that? Are they making more money? Okay, put it this way. You have Fred. Fred right here played Diablo Immortal, spent about 75 to 100 grand on his account, got it to a 6,000 resonance. No, we'll say 50,000. Got it to 6,000 resonance, right? We assumed 50,000. They decided after 6 months, oh man, this game stinks. I don't want to play it anymore. What am I gonna do with my account? I got 50 grand in this account. What am I gonna do with it? Oh, look at this. I could sell it for 5,000-6,000 bucks. I'll get 5,000-6,000 bucks and we'll go out to a real nice dinner on that. If someone put that time and effort and money into a game and then decides they're quitting, they're out of there, they're done, they will try to recoup their money by selling it at a massive discount, a 10 times discount, right? 10% of the cost of what it took to get there. How does this help Blizzard or NetEase or whoever's taking in the transactions inside of the game? How does it help them? Well, you're looking at an account that is dead, right? A 6,000 resonance account that's dead. If it's sold to a player for 50 grand, they can then spend another 50 grand and get their resonance up to 9,000. And they've already cut their cost almost in half to get to be one of the top players in the game. Instead of them having to go from the beginning and grind up 100,000 worth to get there. Is this a more profitable scenario? If you're looking at it as the developer of the game, do you think you could make more money from players not allowing these accounts to die and instead rejuvenate them because they're being sold by someone that's getting rid of the account for someone else to pick up and continue spending on? Or is this just some type of a conspiracy I'm making up in my mind right now as I think about it? I don't know whether Blizzard would be able to make more money from a player that wants to be a top player starting from the beginning, because would they actually spend from the beginning? That's the question. Obviously, they would make more money if they had Joe who wants to go and be the best player in the game. They're gonna have to spend 100 grand plus. But would Joe actually do it if Joe needed to spend 100 grand? Is Joe being able to come on over here and buy an account for 5,000 that's already halfway there? Is that the incentive for Joe to go in and spend another 50? It's all about human psychology and what the actual spending trends are inside of the game. Very interesting. And I would love to see data analytics on this, which we will never see. I'm sure there is data on this, but we will never see that. All right, we're going to move on to the next paragraph here. And again, we do have the terms of service coming here at the beginning, which I'm actually looking forward to seeing. And now the final blow, the exodus of legitimate players. Frustrated and disheartened by the blatant pay-to-win culture that has infected Diablo Immortal, these players are leaving in droves. They don't want to be part of the game where success is measured by the thickness of your wallet rather than the strength of your character. This whole paragraph here, I don't know that it relates to what we're talking about here today. Because Diablo Immortal has always been, from day one, a game that where if you want to be successful, your wallet better be thick. That hasn't changed. This whole topic we're discussing here is about people using thinner wallets to get to the same place as people that are playing fair and by the rules and by the shop and actually getting where they should be because they spent their true money. So I wouldn't agree totally that this is, I mean, I would agree that why would people want to play a game and be competitive if you know you got to spend 100 grand? I would rather do many things with $100,000 than strengthen my Diablo Immortal account. And again, I'm a guy that makes money from Diablo Immortal from making YouTube videos. Again, Let's put this into perspective. I'm not paid by Blizzard. I'm not paid by Activision. At this point, I'm not paid by Microsoft. None of them give me money to make videos on Diablo Immortal. And if I'm being very frank, I don't make a ton of money on this YouTube channel to pay my bills. I have 4 YouTube channels that I'm active on. And combined with all of them, I make a living. As if it weren't enough, where are we here? As if it weren't enough, there are those who take this corruption to a whole new level. I knew this was going here, and this is where the next discussion point begins. They're not content with 1 or 2 whale accounts. They're buying over 20 accounts, transferring them and distributing them among clan members and friends. They even go as far as to hire people to pilot these accounts, another violation of Blizzard's terms of service. It's a vicious cycle of exploitation, and it's poisoning the very essence of the game. They're buying over 20 accounts. 20 accounts at $5,000 is $100,000. So someone that has expendable cash and really wants to be the best inside of the game can buy 20 accounts for 100 G's and give them to their clanmates. And they could completely run an entire server, determining what's going to happen with the Rite of Exile. Who's going to be the Immortal? Who's going to join the Immortals? Complete control. Even further than that, someone that is buying these accounts, 20 of them, they can rent them out. And they can say, sure, you could run this account and be one of the Immortals with one of the strongest in the server, and you could pay us X amount of dollars to use that account for this cycle of immortality. It could be a whole business venture on getting people that want to be in that powerful position that really can't afford that account. Now, that is not something that I've seen firsthand. Now, I have even heard that maybe these people that are buying accounts is a nice dude that's trying to bail out people that are heavily invested and that are ready to get out of the game. And they're like, look, man, you spend 50 G's. I love the game. I'm trying to do something inside of the game. I'll give you $5,000. You give me your account, and then you get a little bit of money back because you're quitting the game anyway. That's like the nice guy gesture. I don't know the people doing this. I've never spoken to them, and I don't know screen names of who they are. Let's put that in perspective as well. But what I do know is that maybe they're a nice dude just trying to bail people out. Or maybe there's someone that's seeing an opportunity that they can make money off of. Or maybe there's someone that is seeing an opportunity and knowing that they could run the server and really have that powerful feel, the empowerment of being able to determine what happens in a server based on you alone and who you lend those accounts to. Interesting stuff. And if you don't know what piloting an account is, where did it say that? Well, it said it's some, all right. Oh, I can't even find it now. Piloting accounts means, here, hire people to pilot these accounts. Piloting an account is when you say, not physically, but virtually, here, I'm going to give you the login information for my account. I want you to play it, and I'll pay you X amount of dollars per month, or whatever time being, to play the account and to just grind it up. That's a pilot, someone that will run your account for you. Okay. Just in case you weren't familiar with the terminology. Terms of service are down here. We will be getting there shortly. Look no further than the Iceburn tier server cluster. Oh my gosh. They're talking about my server. That is my server. This is when I spoke about in that previous video how clans are leaving my server because this was happening. And apparently something similar to what we're seeing right there was happening on my server. This is also news to me that it was that in depth. We're close to half of the whale accounts are purchased, maybe even more than half. Wow. Now, I don't know how many whale accounts are on my server or on servers in general in Diablo Immortal, but that's crazy to think that that half of them are ones that are owned by one person or purchased in secondhand accounts, I guess we could say. It's a staggering testament to Blizzard's incompetence in maintaining the integrity of their own game. And again, I will question if they do maintain the integrity, do they make less money from it? You guys can let me know your thoughts on any of this in the comment section below, by the way, whether you think I'm wrong on points or if you agree on points. I am far from someone that is extremely heavily knowledgeable on this whale lifestyle, because I don't live it. I hear it from the groups that I'm around. Iceburn tier server. We were called out. And so, the anger and sadness intertwine, forming a bitter knot in the hearts of honest players. They're left with a choice. Dramatic pause. And desperate need for a drink. They're left with a choice. Continue to endure a game where fairness is a distant dream, or contemplate chargebacks as a late-ditch effort to reclaim their compromised investment. It's a heartbreaking decision that should never have been forced upon those players. Also, I wish Diablo Immortal wasn't pay to win. I wish that they could make all the money that they needed to support this game the way they're supporting it now, but without a pay to win mechanic, with a cosmetic mechanic. Charge $170 for every skin inside of the game, but pull out the pay to win and you won't see me complaining. Right? Although I don't complain about the pay to win either. I just don't interact with that portion of the game. I do openly wish that it wasn't pay to win. It would be better. Anything is better if there's not that pay to win advantage, just so we're clear. In the end, we're left with a Diablo Immortal that we both love and loathe. It's a testament to the resilience of the gaming community, but it's also a damning indictment of a company that seems content to turn a blind eye to suffering of its players. Diablo Immortal deserves better, and so do its devoted fans. It's time for Blizzard to rise and challenge and cleanse the beloved game of its corrupting influences before it's too late. First of all, very well written. Took the time, put the story together. I actually really do like how this was put together. Terms of service. Select a unique username and password. This is the terms of service of the game. Under login information, you cannot use your real name or password for the account, and you cannot share the account or login information with anyone unless the terms of this agreement allow it. All accounts, including the name of the account and any battle tags associated with the account. All use of the account shall inure to Blizzard's benefit. Blizzard does not recognize the transfer of accounts. You may not purchase, sell, gift, or trade any account or offer to purchase, sell, gift, or trade any account. And any such attempt shall be null and void and may result in the forfeiture of the account, or the forfeiture of the account. It does seem clear that you cannot sell accounts in Diablo Immortal, or it's against terms of service. But according to this video, it also seems clear that it's happening. So, I have heard rumor of massive bans coming. Does that mean that these accounts are going to be banned and that Blizzard hears this? We know Blizzard sees this. We also know that Blizzard watches this channel, being one of, if not the leading Diablo Immortal channel in the community. We know that this is going to be seen by Blizzard, and I would love to know their thoughts on it, because I don't know if they even do have thoughts on it. I don't know. I don't know if the people that watch the videos are the ones that have anything to do with what this is about. We need to keep in mind as well, you have a development team, people that make games. You have a monetization team. You have a marketing team. You have the bosses up top. You have that over at Blizzard and at NetEase and other divisions of this that I don't even know about. I will tell you that the people making this game, Wyatt, when he was developing this game, and the boys now in charge that are bringing new changes to the game, they have nothing to do with monetization. Nothing. They don't make those decisions. They are not the monetization team. They are the game developers. There is an entire team dedicated to analytical, strategic ways to monetize a game to make the most money. those are the ones that have made the decisions on how this is going to be monetized so that Diablo Immortal can be successful. And what is success? A game that pays for itself, that pays for all the staff making it, and that is profitable. I have no idea the numbers. Something I would love to know is how many players are actively playing Diablo Immortal every day? I don't know. How much money is Diablo Immortal making? I don't know. We could probably see that in the quarterly updates that they do for shareholders. I'm wondering if I'll make sure I'm in the next one when it comes up and I can maybe find out that information, but I don't recall that being said in previous ones. Very touchy topic here because it affects a lot of people that we may play with, that we may know, that may be on our friends lists. I don't know who I'm friends with that may be playing on an account that they didn't grind up themselves, that they're having piloted, or that they bought. I don't know. And as I said before, it doesn't impact me personally. So for my personal experience in the game, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But for the whales, who are the people supporting this game, who are supporting us playing this game, and who are keeping the game getting updated every single month with damn good updates, by the way, I feel bad for them. I think. Because I'm still teetering. If an account has 6,000 residents, it was paid for by someone. Does it matter if someone else bought it and then is playing it, or if it should have died with the person that stopped playing the game? I'd have a bigger issue if that account was grinded up to $50,000, 6,000 residents on a $10,000 investment based on stolen credit cards. That would be super sketchy. And that was dealt with in the past. Why was that one dealt with so quickly by Blizzard or Activision or Microsoft or NetEase? Because it was hurting their bottom line, right? If I'm getting in-game currency for Diablo Immortal from an outside company that's using stolen credit cards and scammy ways of getting that currency, then Blizzard wasn't making that money, at least not as directly. So to address that problem right away is an instant way for Blizzard to make more money, because people can no longer go through outside sources that are scammy as heck to upgrade accounts. So now you'll have to buy it from in-game, and you're going to have to pay legit money that Blizzard's going to make. Very clear as to why that was handled quickly. But this here, it's a little bit more hazy as to how it affects the bottom line. So I'll say to you guys, if you know how this affects the bottom line of Blizzard, how it impacts them making money, are they making more money because people are selling accounts? Are they making less money? Or is it kind of a wash and not worth their time to go into? Very good topic, very big topic that's probably worthy of another discussion. I do have a lot of friends that are in this space, and maybe one of them at some point in time I could have on, and we could have just a genuine conversation about this type of stuff. Definitely a longer video today, but it was a topic that's pretty important and that has been pretty hidden for a while. Essentially, it's the dark side of Diablo Immortal. Let me know what you guys think. I'll very much be looking at your comments throughout this video. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing, because I put out Diablo Immortal videos every single day. Take care.